All right. Okay, cool. Live now. Bet. All right, this should be finally working. Let me just make sure this is working properly. I'm going to refresh this page as much as I need to until it finally pops up. There we go. It says we're live. Let's hear. I can hear. Cool. All right. Bet. All right, let me turn down this music a little bit because I can tell I can hear it a little bit too much. No, it's on 0. Let's put it on 2. 2's good. All right, so welcome to the stream. I'm going to be editing some stuff today, some reels and some photos and stuff, but something cool that just happened. I was having some technical difficulties. I don't even know, the computer screen on the stream might be too big. It was giving me a whole bunch of trouble, like not fitting in the box that I made and all that. Anyways, I couldn't hear myself when I first tried to do this. So I went to YouTube and I was looking at it, and I went on my computer on YouTube to try and unlist that video so it wasn't just sitting on the channel. And the first thing that popped up, the first ad, was one of my friends from like acting stuff. So it was super cool. I've seen him in all kinds of stuff. I usually text him whenever I see him. I've seen him in a Gucci commercial, all kinds of. This was like some kind of cat food commercial, I think, but it was cool. Anyways, sidetrack. We're gonna start a new project here, and we are doing reels. So we could do. I usually just edit the reels in 9:16, so that it's like takes up the whole screen. It's a little bit off of what the phone will be, just because the phones have like the different bumps and stuff that like the way the screen fills and all of that is a little off sometimes. But we're gonna do let's see I've got my stuff pulled up here. Let's see what piece of stuff we're gonna start this with. Oh, I'm gonna have to put the headphones on, bummer, because I'll have to hear this. Anyways, we're gonna start with, all right, so we have a big festival coming up soon, and I want to make sure that we get the right stuff out before the festival so that people are excited. And today's Thursday, festival's on Saturday. Let's go ahead and do the more fall stuff. So it's going to be our front table display here. Yeah. So let's go with that. I think everything that's on that is right here. Yeah, they're kind of all in order this time. A lot of times they'll be jumbled up and you just kind of have to search through, but this looks okay. So I'm going to I'll just keep those highlighted in the folder for now. Let's get this going. So now we know what we're gonna film. So let's do fall underscore. Let's put the date 10/16/25. And what else do I want to put for this? We'll put the business initials, Steer South SS. Let's do fall table. It's not quite, fall is not quite. I think we have enough. I think I just spelled that wrong too. Nope. Definitely spelled it right the first time. All right. Sorry, I'm illiterate. Let's choose where we want this to save. We're just going to save it in that stream folder. We'll open this up, new folder, project, files, create, choose, and create. Alright, I could have started it to where it opened up to the sequence with the size that we needed, but I just don't really do that often, so we'll just do it like this. So we'll go to File, New Sequence. Then I'm going to go over here to Settings. I have the camera that I shot with right here, so luckily I can just look, because I don't remember, I think it was in 4K 30 maybe. So let's see, let's put this in movie mode. Yep, 4K 30. So this is what everything was shot on. It's a Sony a7 III from 2020. Actually, it's almost been 5 years that I've been with this camera. I got it. It came in on Thanksgiving. I think. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But anyways, so we'll change our thing to 29.97. That's the American or North American version of 30 frames a second. And then this right here is, we're going to need to switch it around. So let's do 1080 by 1920. Bet. Alright. Everything else looks good. Cool. So we're just going to hit OK. And now we've got this nice phone-shaped thing here. Now we can import our files. So let's do this. Alright. Sweet. Now something I probably should have done before trying to stream so I didn't have to jump on the internet and look for some stuff was music. I should have found something I wanted to use for music first. But I don't really know. I want something. I like this song. Oh, it's not going to turn on or turn up. So I want it to be a little bit like energetic, but I don't know. Like energetic and fall, it's kind of hard to do. I mean, luckily it's a southern kind of style store, so we can go with kind of a country song, which would be a little more, we can kind of get a fall vibe, because I feel like country music and fall just go perfectly together, and maybe get a little bit more like excitement out of it. So I just don't know what, song to do. Let's kind of plan out, I'll kind of plan out what we're going to look for first, though, before I do all that. What was I going to do on here? Okay, this is what I was going to do. I remember now. All right. So, basically, top down, he don't pay my finish. It's Holvey. This is a good song. It's Closer by Holvey. You should listen to it if you don't know it, or if you do know it, listen to it again. Anyways, on here. So, what we're going to do, let's kind of look at this stuff real quick. So we got this little picture of the jackets. Let me throw these on, I guess. Dadgum. I don't want to put these on. That kind of hurt my head a little bit. Because I'm still growing. I got that soft spot that hasn't closed up yet. I don't know what it is. It just hurts right there, though. It's like perfectly in the like baby soft spot. I mean, obviously, I'd assume that's closed by now. I'm old enough for it to be closed by like a lot of years. So let's do, I don't know what to do with that. Oh well, we'll just leave it there. All right. So I actually have no idea. Dang, I just realized that. I didn't think about that. I don't know if you can hear the computer or not. I'm going to assume you can because it's coming off of this. So disregard any like weird sounds I make while trying to film and stay completely still. Alright, so this shot is definitely going to be like our ending shot because it's, we can maybe tease it a little bit at the beginning, but it's got that, it's like the whole view. So I want to leave that for the more towards the end. But we've got all of these things. So we've got this bag here. It looks like here is going to be our like actual, yeah. So do that. Throw warp stabilizer on it and hope that warp stabilizer wants to cooperate. The reason I'm going in the middle of these clips is I know that usually I do a couple of takes and I like the last ones more. So if I go in the middle of it, I kind of know that like that's the spot that I would use. And then we'll just kind of mark where it starts at so that it's not, I'm not doing a ton of trimming later on. No, go back. That was perfect. Start. All right, we'll go there. Yeah, start with the, I want to start with the motion on it so that when I go from one clip to the next clip, it'll be like already moving. It'll have a little bit of like a common visual element to it so that it's not, doesn't seem like out of left field or like hard on the eye or anything. So we want it all to like flow together, match as much as possible. Oh yeah, I forgot I like this one more, I think. Yeah, I think I like that more. We'll slow it down a little. And I actually know a cool trick, because if you try to use Premiere, if you try to slow stuff down and you try to warp stabilize it, it won't let you. And I had to do that like a lot, so I actually know a pretty neat little trick to doing that. What the heck? How did I end that without like a shake? That's crazy. I never end without a shake. That's kind of insane, actually. Yeah, see, like, watch on this one when it ends. Camera moves. Okay, so these look pretty good. Go there. Perfect. And so, oh no, that's not actually good at all because it's got the shadow. So let's go back to this. So the reason that I'm pushing in on these instead of pulling back like I did on the other ones is because that movement was a little bit easier with how much I needed to move for this. I didn't just like, where's my camera? I didn't just like move my hands. I had to move my whole body. I had to move my whole body for some of the like bigger things. So in order to do that, like the pulling back and trying to lean and keep my balance was a little bit harder than trying to push forward, because I could push forward until my body was kind of losing balance and then keep pushing with my hands. So I did that, which kind of gave me the chance to, I can just throw it in reverse and get the same effect, hopefully. All right, cool. So now let's go ahead and start doing some of the fun stuff. Let's see. I think what's going to be the most like eye-catching thing? Probably like this. It's got the orange and the blue. But if somebody's not really down for the style, it's going to be hard to find. Like, it's going to be hard to get them to want to be a part of it. But maybe this one actually, because if I go with this, let's go to the end here. It gives a little bit of a spoiler, so let's try that real quick. Actually, let's see how that keep existing settings. So what it wanted to do was it wanted to change it so that my timeline was sideways or horizontal, and I don't want to do that. Obviously, when we made the sequence at the beginning, we did it so that it would be correct for us. So I just did -90 rotation, which turns it to where I need it to be, and this can go about 50 because we shot it in 4K, so it should be half of that would be the 1920 by 1080. So we're gonna go like this, kind of crop in just a little bit, and that's kind of why I do it that way. Why I record in 4K, it gives us some crop in space, and it kind of helps. Like, you can see the bag there, like right here on the side. You can see the shoes there, and you're probably not going to notice them, but it'll give you just a little bit of like a hint towards the rest of the stuff, and maybe catch someone's eye and keep them watching. My mom's calling. Hello? Okay. I don't know. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, Not right now. I'm actually working on some stuff, so I can do that later though. Just if you would just say I'm busy right now, and I'll get his number from you later. Oh, okay. All right. Um, Yeah, I mean, I guess that's fine. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's fine. If you just tell him that I can't really talk today, yeah. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. All right, love you. Bye. All right. So she just called with. There's a guy here in town who is very talented, but our mission, I guess, doesn't exactly align. So like the stuff that we want to do with our media. So like for me, I want to do stuff like I'm doing right now, like edit, hopefully show some people maybe a couple things that I've learned over the years on how to edit and like kind of my workflow, because it's a little bit, my workflow is professionally unprofessional, or the other way around, however you want to say it. I just kind of do things the way that I can get it done. And maybe that would help some people not try to be so perfectionist about things and kind of just make what they are good at making, the way that they're good at making it. And then, of course, like with the media that we're working on right now, like make stuff to support businesses and stuff. Like this business is a family business. This is my mom. So obviously I want to support her. But like overall, this kind of stuff, I want to be able to support small businesses and like people going out and being a part of their community and all of that. And then above all, I want to help spread faith and like all of that. That's why right underneath me is that is the Bible verse and all of that. And I just think it's something really important, community and faith and all of that. And this guy, he's a little bit different from that. We have a little bit differing views on what's good and what's not good. So I'm a little bit weary to work with him, but I don't know. Well, he wants my phone number, so we'll we've spoken in person before. He's a really nice guy and he is really talented. But like I said, just kind of the point of why we make stuff is a little bit different. And I guess we'll have a conversation and kind of see. Okay, so I was talking there. I didn't really explain what I was doing here. So I lined up my shot the way that I wanted it. But if you saw here before we did the before I put this keyframe down, it was, oh crap. Okay, well, I guess I can't really show you so much, but it was like pulling the jacket off of the, or sweatshirt, jacket, I don't know what this thing's called, but it was pulling it out of frame, and I didn't want that. So now we've got it to where it ends nice and in frame there. And actually this is going to be the beginning, because we're about to throw it in reverse. Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. I love that video. Anyways, so it should end with this kind of thing, which is actually perfect because it'll lead into some of the other stuff. So we could lead into anything like the shoes or this, I think this is a facial cream right here, or maybe even the bag, just because they're hinted at. And you can see it down here. There's that cup. I think it's kind of hard to notice the cup because it's the wood lid and it kind of looks like the wood box, so it kind of just goes unnoticed. But I think that's a good catch for the first thing that you see in the video. You've got the blue here, blue here. The wall has a little bit of blue just from the daylight, and then you've got the nice orange pop there against the white and the blue and the white. And so it just gives you a good bit of like visual, I would think, visual contrast to kind of get you into watching it. So let's go ahead and we're going to right click, go down to speed and duration, and hit reverse, then hit OK. Now it should play backwards, so let's go ahead and watch that, make sure it works. It's good. The radio in the clip sounds super weird in reverse, but anyways, that's another thing I probably should be doing, is just unlink the audio, delete it. You can just also, if everything is going to be on the same layer, which this is probably going to be a pretty simple edit, you could just mute that layer as well. Alright, so now what we're going to do, this is where it can be a little bit tricky. This is kind of the trick of how to, so if we go to effects here and type in warp, grab our warp stabilizer and drop it onto here. It can't be used with speed. So That's where our problem comes in. So we'll come over here and delete it, or you can just Command Z it. By the way, my workspace is effects. So I'm in the effects workspace. And then I just do everything over here. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to right click on the clip, and we have all these options that pop up, and we're going to go to nest. Once we hit nest, we can name it whatever we want. So let's just name it clip 1, which is fine. Hit OK. And then grab our warp stabilizer and drag it and drop it, and perfect. Now it'll let us do it, because it's like, it doesn't, I don't know why exactly. I don't know programming stuff. So, but it doesn't see it as, it's like baked in. So it's kind of like when you export something, now nothing that had to do with that video is like, it's all one video now. It's one thing. It's not a bunch of individual edits. So in kind of layman's terms, I guess, which is how I understand all this stuff, the nesting it is kind of like almost like an export, except it's not exporting anything. So it's like treating it as one solid thing. So it's making one thing out of it. So all the ingredients that make up your clip, you nest it, and now it's one clip instead of all the individual things. And then of course you can double click your nest and you can hop into it. So that's cool too. So this looks like it just finished stabilizing. Let's go ahead and see how it did. Please don't be jiggly. Yo, that's actually good. I think there was a little bit of jiggle. Yeah, there is. There's a little bit of jiggle right here at the end. But honestly, we could just clip that like right here or something and be fine. If you look up in the top left corner, you can see a little bit of jiggle. I think it's because a car drove by and it messed with the lighting, and so the camera's having a hard time kind of figuring out where that is. Or it might also, I mean, it's probably also shaky hands and stuff that it was just giving it a hard time. But that's perfect. So we'll go with that. It did zoom in quite a bit. So let's open up our nest and let's see if we zoom out just a tad to, let's say, like 58. Now let's go back to the sequence. Okay. Is that going to mess anything up, or is that going to be okay? That's okay. I think I'm fine with that. We'll stop it right here. I'm cool with doing that. So just crop this in a little bit. Now, what do we want to go to next? So let's see what's kind of in the, oh crap. Let's kind of see what's in the end of the frame here. So we've got this right here, the shoe right there. So let's go ahead. This is center of the framing. So I mean, we could definitely, because we'll have a little bit of wiggle room especially if we're like kind of zoomed in. So let's grab this, and we're going to try to line it up as best as possible. So I'm going to go up a layer and over, so that we can get this, again, -90 to turn it, and then I'm going to crop it out to 50. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna skip cropping it to 50 because I'm not gonna use it there. So let's do 55, and then let's pull this over to the side, just enough to keep it in frame. That didn't really do much, did it? It did a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to turn down the opacity on this layer. Oh, see, and that's what I want. That's what I didn't want. I want it to line up as much as possible with this, because I want to jump from this to this visually and not look like super chaotic. Not be hard to see. Let's make sure all of this is working good still. Yeah, looks fine. Cool. Good with me. How do I get back? There we go. Alright, so we're going to have to zoom in a little bit, unfortunately, to do that. And then there. So now let's up this to back to 100. Make sure it's moving, because I don't want to cut in on no movement, because then it won't look fluid. So let's try this. See, that cuts a little hard. I don't like it. I don't like it. So let's go to here, try it again. It feels like to me that the movement is what's off, but maybe not. Nah, it's something weird. It might be a jump cut because we're kind of going from the side of the thing to the immediately to the front of it. So we're gonna delete that for now, and we're gonna jump down into something else. So let's go to these right here. Let's try this. So same principle with it. We want to try and make sure that the let's go ahead and mute this layer because I don't want to delete everything every time. -90. And again, I should have found music first. I just didn't. So we can see that even with -90, like it's turned it the right way, but it's a little bit off. A little off, my gosh. My voice. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to scale it in. I'm going to move that down as much as we can before we hit the... No. Before we hit the barrier. And then let's move... No! Okay, well, I guess that's about as much as we can do. So let's see how that looks from there. We go from here to here. That doesn't seem too bad. Let's Command S because I noticed a little glitch. Alright, so we definitely need to trim this to get the movement speed correct. Alright, I don't hate that. Let's throw warp stabilizer on it and see what happens. Got my pumpkin coffee that I made, and it's in the Gup Cup, which is 2 guppies that love each other, because me and Jade made this on Valentine's Day. So it's cool. The Gup Cup. I love the Gup Cup. Anyways, back to this. Yeah, okay. I don't hate that. The warp stable... Oh, that's why. Okay, that's why. So we're going to undo the warp stabilizer. Go back. We're going to undo the warp stabilizer. The reason it was a little shaky on this part of it was because it's shaky at the end. So it's trying to take the whole clip and stabilize every part of it. So we're going to cut off the parts where I start to fall away from it. And that should make a good bit of difference for us. Yep, so now I'm happy with that selection. Let's throw warp stabilizer on that. And it goes a lot faster too because it's not as many frames. So now let's see how that looks. Dude, yeah, that's a lot better. There's a little bit of warping there at the end. If anyone knows how to use warp stabilizer better, because look at that. Oh, I hate it. That little like squash there. So let's go. I'm going to cut that out. I hate it so much. Warp stabilizer is my least favorite. I have DaVinci. I haven't bought it. I use DaVinci for free. And the stabilization tool is so much better. And it's already there. Like you don't have to drag and drop it. It's in your timeline already. I love it. So with how quick this clip is, we can probably trim this one a little bit. What if we trim it to here? Make it about almost half as long. I think we're slowing down a little too much at the end of this clip and I don't like it. Let's see. Yeah. So what if we go what if we Command Z that so we get some frames back, and right before it starts to slow down is where we cut. So right about there probably. Let's do that. And then let's move this together. Now let's see what we get. We get lag. Oh, I forgot to do this. So I'm dropping the quality of the video is going to change, not for the stream, but for the for Premiere, because I'm changing the playback to 1/4 the quality so that it has an easier time playing. It's one good way to like. Alright, something about this, I think it's the jump where your eyes are jumping to. So we're going to move this up a little bit. Let's no, I don't want all that negative space, but we'll do. Let's try that. That's a little closer maybe, so yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's not my favorite, but I'm okay with it. So we need a way to put in some words and things. So let's do. Alright, so oh my goodness, I can't think. I'm actually getting super tired right now. I don't know why. Usually I don't focus. I do focus, but I don't only edit. When I edit, I'm usually doing like a million other things at once. Also, I don't need to have these on right now because I don't have music to edit to. So I'm good with just that. Where did my phone go? There. Let's turn this music back on. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Alright. So back to this. We're going to go with. What is this one here? Oh, that's the full pullback. Okay. We used that. Let's go to this outfit now. So we have this outfit we need to do. We have the facial scrub we need to do. And we have the bag we need to do. So that's 3 things. So let's add one more. We can jump from the cups to the bag. So let's go with this first. I want to do one more accessory before I do another piece of clothing. Just to add a little bit of, just to have variety. So it was a little shaky at the beginning there, so I'm going to go right after those shakes if I can help it. But it's also a little slow there, so let's go to there. And hope that that's not going to be the worst. So let's take this and drop it here. And this clip might give us a little bit of an opportunity to do some effects. Because we might be able to take. Yeah, oh yeah, we can put some words back behind this. So we'll need to go behind this and behind this because this is in front of the bag. So it'd be a little weird if we just put something behind it, especially because the straw. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't. Because we could have a word there and then a word here up in the front. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we end up doing. But for that, we're going to have to open the lovely Adobe After Effects. So let's hear the computer cry when we do this. Let me just make sure all this is still running. I need to find a better way to have that Streamlabs up. Alright. Back to this. We're going to go ahead and try and drop Warp Stabilizer on it and see what happens there. And then, if that does what we need, we're going to export that part of the video and throw it in After Effects when it opens up. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and get an overview. Okay, we're not. There we go. There we go. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. This isn't my most exciting favorite video, but it's not bad. And this is just kind of our rough draft. We've laid 3 clips down so far. You know, it's not going to be perfect off the bat as soon as you lay stuff down. That's part of it, is you gotta kind of see what you want to do with everything. So one thing that I noticed right away that I want to do, I want to zoom in on this just a tiny bit, not too much, and I want to bring it up if I can, because where these cups end is up here, and then the bag, you know, I kind of want the top of it to be somewhat similar. Yeah, I think that helps a little bit. It helps with the visual style of like, hold on, we're gonna do this. Alright, so these grids and guides here I use quite a bit. I think they're in markers, maybe? No. Where are they? Oh, right here. You have view, and then, oh, you have to have the window selected, that's why. So you have view, and then you have show rulers, show guides. So these are the rulers, and you grab the ruler, pull the guide down, and this is so helpful. They're kind of annoying because they're hard to get rid of in Premiere. Go away, After Effects. I know I called you up here, but go away. So we're going to just look to see. So that's kind of what our problem is. So it kind of works with the top one, but it looks weird with the bottom one. And this is more of where you're going to be looking anyways. So, and especially this bright buckle on this brown fabric. So I want to have it to where we can get a little bit more of a visual congruency. Is that a word? I love this song. Whoop, 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 I want. Alright. Let's try 65. No. Oh gosh, I thought I thought Premiere just crashed, bro. Oh my gosh. I already forgot that we were doing that with After Effects. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just lining up that bottom of the frame. And so now, unfortunately, we lost quite a bit of our, like, what's it called there? Like, space, our dead space in the back that we were going to use to do an effect. So let's see how that works. Let's grab these guides if it'll let me. There we go. Just drag them away. Let's make sure this works together. I think it does. That definitely needed to be zoomed in on. Yeah, that definitely needed to be zoomed in. So I like what we have here. What if we can do... I'm kind of thinking of the idea of like zooming out on this and just putting like another video of it behind it and kind of doing like a overlay thing, but I don't want to do that. I think that looks cheap, so we're not going to do that. I'm going to put my in marker. So all I did was I went to where I wanted my video to start exporting, and I clicked I, and then we're going to do the same thing with the O. And the reason I went one frame back is because the playhead is 1 frame long, so that's what this little piece right here is of the playhead. So we're just going to do that. Let's go to File, Export Media. You could just click Export there also. We're going to name this bag underscore roto. I always like to do needs, bag needs roto, or bag roto, and then the one we finish I'll name like bag words or something. But so let's go here, scroll down. We want to find that same stream thing. We can go into project and save it there. And I'm going to turn off the audio. We don't need to export the audio. It'll just take up space. There's not even audio in it. We're going to Command S just in case too much is going on and the computer freaks out. I never click new project here because it opens straight up to the After Effects window. So I just X that out, go straight into After Effects, and we can use it right off. So we're going to go down, go to our project file, project files, where we just exported this. So now we have the video with everything we needed. I'm going to drag it and drop it, and I'm going to drop it into the composition window. Nothing's going to happen because every time I do this I forget. So I'm going to click project on here. It was in effects controls. Click project, grab it, and drag it into the project window. Now we're good. Now we can double click it. Now we've got it loaded up. Or actually, I guess, no, you drag it and drop it into the composition. Can you tell I don't know what I'm doing? Can you tell I just kind of scramble my way through this stuff? So now we're going to drag it to here. Now we're going to double click, and this puts it in the composition window. No, it does not. This is the composition window. This puts it in the layer window, which is going to let us rotoscope. So what we're going to do is we're at the beginning of the clip here, and I'm going to go kind of like here, kind of do a rough outline of it. And luckily, if AI is good for anything, it's this. And rotoscoping can be a whole lot faster because it actually, the AI in After Effects for the rotoscoping can be pretty smart sometimes, and it can take a lot of work off of you. So we're just going to kind of do that. I hope it worked. It worked pretty good. So now you can see it's got the whole frame up here. So we're going to hold Option. I'm on a MacBook, so we're going to hold Option, and we're going to kind of outline the space around it that we don't want to be there. So let's do this, just kind of rough estimate, let go, see it did that. So now we're going to do the same thing on the inside of this bag handle right here, because basically what we're going to do, what the effect we're trying to get is, no, come back. So I'm going to zoom in here, try to get some of this braid back. The effect that I'm going for here is I want to be able to have the words behind the bag, which is what we were talking about a minute ago. So we're going to do that by just kind of tracing the bag itself, and trying to get that to stay in the video, and then delete everything that's on the outside of it. So let's delete this. Try to get it to kind of hug that as much as we can, because any bit of this that doesn't get deleted is going to show up, unfortunately, in your edit, and it'll look really weird clipping in and out. So we're going to just try to get it as close as possible. And luckily, once we hit play, no, wrong thing. No, crap. Once we hit play, it'll take the rough estimate that we've gave it, and it'll kind of apply it to the parts that it can tell aren't moving because of parallax, which, if you don't know what parallax is, it's where the background of something moves at a different pace than the thing that you're focusing on. So next time you're in a car and you're kind of driving it, well, if you're not driving, next time you're in a car, kind of look at this stuff out in the distance. The mountains or trees or whatever might be moving kind of at a different rate than the stuff that's really close to you. And so that's what parallax is, and that's how kind of Adobe is going to be able to, or After Effects is going to be able to try and see what's part of our frame and what's not. It can kind of see the rate that things are moving and all of that. So let's take this straw wrapper out because it's ugly. Actually, I should probably leave that. We're not going to worry about it. I'm going to take it out. It's fine. I can fix that if I need to. Add all of this because this is the logo. So just scribble over it. And then I notice right here, the zipper still has a little bit that's not in. So some of this up here is not the biggest deal, like right there. It's probably going to fix while it's going through. I mean, I don't like that it's there, but it'll be off a little bit. But also in this little handle section, there's only going to be a fraction of the word. It's not really going to make much of a difference. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Command, and I'm going to drag down with my mouse, or not mouse. What's this thing called? Trackpad. And it's just going to shrink my brush size a little bit. And that's going to help me get these braid details a little better, a little more accurate, so that the computer has the best starting point that I can give it. So we're going to do that. don't know why my voice is like so cracky today. I feel like it keeps going in and out. I think I'm just super tired. So I was up late messing with all this stuff last night. This new stuff, new equipment and all that for the streaming. It's just fun to mess with. Alright. Cool. So I think we're at a good enough starting point with the bag. I mean, we gave it really more than it needed. Oh, nope. One spot. So this right here, we need to go ahead and make sure that it doesn't think that any of this background here is a part of the bag. So we're going to do that. Perfect. See how it jumped to that? I mean, it missed a tiny bit right there. Dude, perfect. This is the one thing I love about After Effects. Now we're just going to hit play. You can sit back and drink a little more coffee. Let it run through. Hopefully it's grabbing what looks like a pumpkin or something in the background. So we're going to have to get rid of that. We might also... No, I'm not going to do... I was going to say we might also need to do some 3D tracking to put the words behind it so the words stay with the background. I'm not going to do that right now. We don't need to do all that for a clip that's like, what, 5 seconds? Not even 5 seconds. I don't even know how... Oh, it's almost 5 seconds, actually. Maybe? Oh, no, it's like 1 second. I don't know what that says. It's like going from 3 to 4, but it looks like seconds. Anyways. Let's do it. So, I'm going to hit pause. Go back to the beginning here. Alright, so now I see why it's doing that. Why it's like grabbing that there. It's because this. So, again, hold down Option. Let's shape this out. It looked like as it was playing through that, and that's one thing I was doing. I wasn't just sitting here and letting it play. I was watching to make sure that it's doing what I want, because I've done this enough times that I've had to jump back into After Effects and like redo it because I don't like what it came out with and I didn't notice. So I like to let it play through a couple of times and just really pay attention to it. And you can zoom in here on your effect. You can also do some of these down here. So like this is going to show us what it'll look like transparent or with the transparent background. So now we're going to hit play and just kind of let it do its thing again. So we can see a little bit of stuff that I don't like around that little charm that's hanging down on the left side of the bag. It's like looking like it's having a little bit of problems. It's probably because of the reflections. So you can kind of see there how it does that like weird like generating thing. Looks like AI generation crap. Obviously it's not, because we took this video. It's real video, but okay, wrong thing. I can't think. Yep, there it is. We need to be sure that the look we're going for is exactly what we want. Because even though it's like yeah, it's not the biggest deal in the world if something like that happens, but at the same time, it is a reflection of your work, and people don't understand the difficulties of it. They don't understand how meticulous it is to like go through and do all of that, and that it's really not a big deal. So you'll have kind of those different groups of people where some people are like, oh, this looks perfect, and you're like, but I wanted to fix that, and you feel like a perfectionist about it. Then you'll also have some people where it's like they see that one thing and it doesn't look like a movie to them, and they're like, well, how'd you mess that up, blah, 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 whatever. And they don't understand what all goes into it. So what we're going to do is just, I mean, look, you can already see there that's done so much better just off what we did. And I think I'm probably going to be, able to live with that. I mean, it's still got a little bit of that flakiness in it where it kind of looks generative, I think. I don't know if that's the right word. But we're going to go with that because you can't notice it enough, and when there's words behind it, it's going to look fine. So that's kind of what I mean. You got to find the balance of, if you spend all day on this, you're going to be editing forever, and if you don't spend enough time on it, it's not going to look good. So you got to find the good in between there. So now what we're going to do, this part's kind of tricky. I don't really know why it works the way it does, but we're going to go to File, go to Export to Render Queue, and now we're going to change the render settings. Not there. I've been doing that recently. I don't know why. I'm going to change the render settings right here. Change it from Format to QuickTime, and we're going to change the channels here to RGB and Alpha. Hit OK. Now we're going to specify where we want this to save to, and it's not going to be any of this. So we're going to go down to that same stream thing, and since I don't have it like all fleshed out well right now because I'm using a hard drive that I don't usually use for saving projects, we're just gonna save it there. I would usually have like a footage folder on here, not just save it all into project folder, but we're just gonna do transparent, and then yeah, that should be good. Save and then hit render. It's a short clip, look like 46 frames, so hit render, we're all good. We'll shrink this down, but I'm going to keep it open just to be sure we're getting what we want out of it. This live might end here in a minute, so if it does, I appreciate you watching this far, and I hope I didn't ramble too much that it was impossible to follow anything. But, okay, so now what we're going to do, since we exported this and we had the perfect size of, like, to cut out for our framing, we're going to grab this and drop it, and look, perfect. Since the thing in After Effects was exactly that clip, it matches perfectly. It's the same size, and it takes out a lot of guesswork that we have to do if we just like exported the whole thing, or if we just went straight from like this, not that file, this file right here with like all of the extra stuff. We didn't have to be frame perfect because we exported it frame perfect. So now we got that. We're going to up this a little bit. I'm going to grab the type tool here, and I'm going to type out fall in all caps and a font that I've really liked using lately. And I might get to the point soon where I'm overusing it, but we're going to go with it right now, is Modernize. So that's not how you spell it. Modernize, right there. That's perfect. And actually that brown is going to look really good with some of that. So we're going to grab the color tool, color picker, whatever it's called, and we're going to go over here. I like that orange, and it just happened to be the thumbnail was perfectly right there. So we're going to grab that. Now I'm going to switch back. You can hit V and switch back to your grabber tool thing, whatever it is, cursor. I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to stretch it out. Okay, if it'll let me, my goodness. So we're going to go with that. It's not quite letting me do what I want to do with it. Why is this working like this? I'm done with the flesh. To control, standing in the way. It's a little weird. Usually it'll let me like kind of stretch things around. It's not letting me do that right now. I don't know why. Anyways, we're just going to put fall right there. I don't quite like that, so I'm going to find something else to write out there, but this is what we're looking for. We're going to have it, and maybe that's not what we're looking for. Where the heck is it? Yo. I'm super confused. Cold water for my broken heart. Oh, I put needs roto. Bro, I'm stupid. Okay. The transparent one. That's what we want. Okay. So, still frame perfect. Anyways. Now, that's what we were looking for. We wanted it to have the behind the bag thing. So, you know, it's an easy effect. It's not difficult to do, and we can give it a little bit of a, like, it's better if we had been able to have the bag zoomed out some. It would have been better. You know, maybe we'll do it here on this one. We've got more negative space around here, so it gives us a little bit more freedom to do what we want. So we can do that. I would have loved to have done it with one of the jackets, but you know, they kind of take up the whole frame. So, you know, maybe we'll find another buzzword to put here, and we'll go with that. But for now, that's how you do or that's how I do the putting words behind stuff thing. You can rotoscope it in Premiere Pro if you want, but it's a pain in the butt. You would have to go to opacity, create a mask, and then draw out the entire thing for every frame, and that's 46 frames of individual things around a contouring shape and stuff, so that would be really hard to do. But you can if you want, and it's probably a good thing to be patient with because you're not always going to have After Effects or something, so I maybe should do that a little more. Anyways, I think I'm going to stop the stream right here for now. Ooh. Take a little break for a second, and kind of think through what's next, because it's a little bit hard. I haven't done the stream thing before while editing, so it's a little hard to kind of like think through that and try to edit at the same time. So I'm gonna see if I can just do a little bit of thinking on it and figure out a way to make this look a little